Gentlemen, you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone.
Hello and welcome to the Town Alone Podcast, the only podcast back by the wheel. I am your host, Adam Hess, and with me, as always, if he was a tortilla, he would be a cheesy roll-up. It's Mike Regan. Mike, how are you doing today?
Makes no sense, by the way.
I know, if you were a tortilla, you'd be used in a cheesy roll-up. You'd be used in a cheesy roll-up.
You're trying to say is I spend my free time covered in melted cheese.
Yes.
Internally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your insides are full of cheese, is the point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah, that's not, untrue. I do eat a lot of cheese, I think.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Now, before we went live here, we were talking some back-end talent alone stuff. We were talking about our short that's doing quite well. So I want you to rip off here real quick. Give me your top 5 guards in the East. This is the NBA, by the way.
Okay. Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey. Do West, because point guards in the West come to mind immediately.
Oh, you want to do
so
West?
many good ones.
Since we already have the short with the top 5 in the East, why don't you rattle off your top 5 in the West then instead?
Oh,
So many good ones come to mind immediately.
Shea Gill,
Uh-huh.
obviously. Oh, never mind. I feel like point bigs are ruining point guard play.
So you gonna say Cooper Flag?
Yeah, there's so many bigs who run the offense. Like Luka isn't a point guard.
Luka's a
Jokic,
point guard.
obviously. Luka is okay. All right.
Listen.
Sure.
Lakers. I spelled that wrong. Lakers roster.
I'm with Bill
Point
Simmons on this
guard
one.
Luka Doncic.
I'm with Bill Simmons on this one, who refuses to put him down as guard for first team NBA.
We did our All NBA teams on the podcast, and I think I had him as a forward.
Yeah, I think it was a forward. Jokic is the center, but the ball should go through him every single play, even though Jamal's a point guard.
I would say they have a top 5 point guard on their team, especially this season.
Jamal Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd put him at 5. I'd argue about it because I have some sort of weird Jamal Murray hate, but I'd probably put him at 5 over there.
I think that's justifiable, Jamal Murray hate. Jamal Murray is inconsistent and has a sex tape online, so you really have to go one or another about him.
Does he really?
Yeah. That's why people called him Jamal Furry.
No way, it's a furry tape?
No, he's just hairy. Oh. It's not a furry tape. Jamal Murray isn't dressing up as a bird and banging his girlfriend.
Huh. People say most people don't go bird if you said someone's a furry. Most people aren't they dress up as a bird. I feel like the first animal that comes to mind is a fox.
Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense because I know a lot of birds with fur.
That's true.
It'd be a feathery.
Feathery. Is that a thing? I'm not googling it. Nope.
I don't know.
You can't make me do it.
All right, here. Look, I'll Google the feathery thing. You Google Jamal Murray sex tape.
No, I want to do the feathery thing now.
Okay, I'll Google Jamal Murray sex tape. Oh, I was joking. I wasn't going to Google shit. Now you're actually Googling.
Are there bird furries? No, real birds are not furries. But a subculture within the furry fandom is dedicated to anthropomorphic human-like birds. The term furry refers to interest in anthropomorphic animal characters. Oh, okay. So, yeah, you could be a furry bird, a birdie, a burry.
A feathery?
Yeah, I like how this started with you being oh, we're going to bring up a topic for something that has to do with content that we have. And it's divulged into, can there be bird furries? And there can. So, thanks for listening, everybody. Good job by you.
Man, I couldn't listen to any football podcast today. After last night. Yeah, I'd take a few days off.
I can't get the image of Jalen Daniels' elbow out of my brain.
Yeah, it immediately reminded me. The same thing happened to Ray Phoenix when he got chokeslammed by.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, by what the fuck's his name now? Is it still Luchasaurus? Yeah, because he went Luchasaurus, Kill Switch, now he's Luchasaurus again, right?
Yeah, actually, now I think he's Killosaurus Switch.
Yeah, Killosaurus.
he's Killosaurus Switch.
He's Switchosaurus. That sounds like a Digimon from your Big Tit game.
She doesn't have big tits, by the way. We're not talking about this. Yeah, I saw posts on the interwebs and it was like Jalen Daniels helped off field after they posted a parent arm injury. And so like
Parent.
right. So I read a parent and I'm thinking, though, this is a safe thing to watch. And
No.
so I watched it and that was the first time I saw like the actual play. And I was
Yeah.
like, that should not say a parent. That was borderline gruesome.
Yeah, that it should say Jane Daniels helped off after horrific arm injury.
Yeah, his season's done.
Yeah. His season's done. Lattimore went out with what is now being revealed to be a torn ACL. Luke McCaffrey went out with a broken collarbone, which is kind of funny being like, ha ha ha, Luke McCaffrey went out. But Luke McCaffrey was on track to, I swear to God, be an all-pro return man this year.
Yeah. He's playing good.
On top of that, Sam Cosmi has missed the whole season after tearing his, I think it was ACL, but it could have been MCL, against Detroit last year in the divisional round. Down on the defensive line, Derek Wise, Dorrance Armstrong. I think Javon Kinlaw is questionable now. Trey Amos left the game early. Yeah, I mean, the team's just completely beat to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Austin Eckler with the torn Achilles. Terry McLaurin was out again after re-aggravating his quad injury.
Scuffed run.
Yep. Scuffed run. I have a lot of questions about Jane Daniels, and it is a really bad sophomore slump, at the very least. But it's hard to blame the coaching staff or the players in a season that has this many injuries on what was already probably not one of the best rosters in the league. It was old, and it was deep, but it didn't have a lot of blue-chip talent.
Yeah.
So, from here on out, it'll be a lot of Mariota and, as friend of the pod, Tyler Karkar calls him, BJCM, Bill Jacory Krosky Merritt.
So I saw him say that in Basky. It upset me. I don't know why.
It is funny because Jacory, that name rules, but everyone calls him Bill Krosky Merritt.
Because he said it's what he said he wanted to be called.
He said it's what he wanted to be called. Now, I'm all for that. And also, let me say this, and then I'll put to rest the Commanders until a later segment, but let me say this for Krosky Merritt. People are bitching about how he's a disappointment. A, he's a 7th-round rookie, and B, the guy sneezes for 5 yards. Just because they don't have enough volume with him and he doesn't score enough touchdown to be fantasy viable doesn't mean he's a disappointment.
Correct.
Sometimes I get sick of the fantasyification of all analysis of football.
Of everything, yeah. It doesn't make sense. Because you were lamenting last night.
Lamenting is a soft term for it.
Yes, you were
I
down.
was doom spiraling.
You were doom spiraling pretty hard. And I think the team's been pretty beat up this year. Personnel probably wasn't great in some spots. And then I really think if Jaden Daniels stayed healthy, I think we would have just continued to see that. I don't think Cliff Kingsbury's a good fit. I'm going to say it. I know they had a great year last year. I think Kingsbury's. I think Cliff, it's easier to say. I think Cliff's offenses, I think they get old fast.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I was saying yesterday. I don't believe in an NFL style offense that's entirely pistol and shotgun. We're talking about a league where the most dominant offenses run play action 20 to 30% of the time. And the Commanders branch off of their RPO game with like play action RPOs that are supposed to look like an RPO, but it's actually just pure play action with the blocking set from the line. Mm-hmm. But play action is just so much less effective from shotgun because A, the defense can key in on the ball the entire time, and B, the run game itself is less effective from shotgun. Like, it's nice to have shotgun runs and pistol runs, but it's just less effective than having an under center run where you turn your back and the running back gets going with the head of steam and has a few more steps in the drop to see where he's going to go with it.
Right.
So I think that you hit the ceiling of what Cliff's offense can do when you have zero under center game. So, I mean, we're seeing the same thing with Penix, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a limit, there's an upper limit to these college style offenses in the pro game that are all shotgun and all pistol. And the limit is it deeply affects the run game unless you have, I don't know, Bijan Robinson.
Which is but the crazy part about Penix is it's not like they're like, oh, this is like, we got to do what he did in college to make it work. Because like that doesn't look like Ryan Grubb's offense to me. So
no, we saw Ryan Grubb's offense. It's mostly Geno Smith throwing interceptions.
Okay.
Hey,
that wasn't his fault.
Can I tweak you with a little surprise touch here real quick?
Sure.
Oh, you were really okay with that phrasing.
Yeah, tweak me, brother. Tweak me softly.
Is Texas back?
I don't know, man.
Can you explain to me if this win over Vanderbilt matters at all?
I mean, yeah, it matters. It matters.
Are they a playoff team?
They could be. I mean, they still have to play Georgia, and obviously they end the year at Texas A&M. So
they're not a playoff team.
what most likely is gonna happen is they're gonna be, if they split, they'll be a 9-3 team, and there's gonna be a lot of debate. But it will be tough. It might be tough to keep them out. I don't know. This year's gonna be a lot different than last year. Like there's three-loss SEC teams that got left out last year, and I don't think that will happen again this year. Like I could see a 9-3 SEC actually getting in. We'll have to wait and see if it's Texas who does it. Their offense has looked a lot better. That's been a very pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
I was like
they developed an under center game to help with their play action.
I think that's what it was actually.
Yeah.
And I don't, not to be that guy, but I was kind of happy to watch Vanderbilt lose.
Why?
I'm so sick of hearing about them.
What do you have against Vanderbilt? What makes Vanderbilt annoying? To someone who is not a college football guy, tell me why I should hate Vanderbilt.
You shouldn't hate Vanderbilt.
No, tell me. Explain to me why I should hate them.
I'm not saying you should hate Vanderbilt. What gets annoying is like when, because of the world we live in, and then like the internet and the media latch onto a story and they become like obnoxious about it. So like Vanderbilt is usually like always a basement SEC team. They're like referred to as the Harvard of the South. And now they're having like all this success, and Diego Pavia is like the super fun QB who's 28. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I just did a picture of him. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this guy worked in a law firm for the last 41 years.
Yeah.
He's
like
got crow's feet.
He looks, every time like I see him without a helmet on him, so I'm like, oh, you look old, brother. There's some miles on you. So like it's a fun story, them being like the breakout year they had last year, where they were no longer like pushovers and they were a tough team. They got the big win against Bama, and then this year they've actually been like a good team and got it like up to like number 10th in the rankings at one point. Has been fun, but at the same time, it's just like shut up about it. I'm so sick of hearing about it. Like everybody loves like the underdog until the underdog becomes like, until everybody loves the underdog. Does that make sense?
It's can I make a cross entertainment comparison?
Yeah.
It's A24, where like when A24 was making like Hereditary, you were like, this is sick. Like this is like, I haven't seen it before at all. And then like a bunch of film students were like, I just like A24 movies. And now whenever I go to the movies and there's a preview that starts with the A24 logo, I roll my eyes.
Yeah.
It's like the wrong hipsters got in on it, or too many hipsters got in on it. One of the two.
Or I guess like what it came down to was, I hear people talk throughout the year. I'm like, Vanderbilt, they could win the SEC. Vanderbilt's a good team, and they could on any given Saturday beat any team in the SEC. I'm not saying that. Like they're a good football team, and they could make the road could be tough now, but they are still alive in the playoffs. With that said, I'm like, no, they can't win the SEC. Like,
it really fucked me up when you said any given Saturday.
It fucked my head, like pause in my brain, like my processing internally started for a second. But it's like, let's like, come on. Like we watch all the teams play. We know who's legit, could win a national title, who should be talked about in a certain way and who shouldn't. And like, it's great what Vandy's doing, but they shouldn't be. So it was a little of like a humble pie to see like a blue blood team beat them.
And it looks like they walked in despite being, what, 18 spots higher in the rankings?
Yeah.
They walked in as like a significant underdog?
Yeah, they were an underdog.
But like by a good margin.
I think it was 3.5 by kickoff.
Okay, I don't have like the actual number in front of me. I just saw that walking in, ESPN's win percentage model gave them a 20% chance of winning before the first snap of the game.
So what's that in like Steiner math?
So that's a 73rd and 1/19th, I think.
Yeah.
Any other? How about this? I'll give you a spot here. Give me one other college football take coming out of Week 10 that you truly believe.
That I truly believe. One other college football take. I truly believe.
Dead air.
I truly believe Indiana can win a national title.
There you go. Everyone is on the Indiana train, but Mike still doesn't think Fernando Mendoza is the best quarterback in the class.
No, he's
Tune
really
in
good.
at 3 o'clock to see why.
3 o'clock.
3 a.m. It's when we go on Sports Center.
Okay.
So I just
Not on
Tankathon.
YouTube TV.
Yeah. How are you watching Monday Night Football tonight, by the way?
I did like a free trial with DirecTV.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to the movies, so I'll have to watch highlights of the game or the replay tomorrow. So based off this conversation, I did quickly pull up Tankathon's big board, and I just want to let you know they currently have Darren Patterson as the number 1 overall pick with Cameron Boozer as number 2.
What? Basketball?
Yeah, those are the top 2 in basketball.
Oh, Boozer's that old that his son's about to be in the
Yeah, that's Carlos Boozer's kid.
Yeah, I knew it was his kid. I didn't realize that I thought he was like a freshman. Oh no, wait, that would make him. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, he is.
Wrong sport.
With that, Mike, let's move on to the big boy game, the pros, the NFL. Big week 9. The winner of the week, Mike, I would say is injuries. Big week for injuries. Really,
Huge
you know,
for injuries.
Yeah, came back with a vengeance this week.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just read you off a quick list. I just was stitching this together from what I could find as I was reviewing stuff from yesterday. Just want to throw out some names here. Let me know if at any point you have additional thoughts on someone. Of course, Jane Daniels with the dislocated elbow. We already talked about that. Tucker Kraft with a torn ACL. Cole Kmet with a concussion. C.J. Stroud went out with a concussion on a play that I think was flagged, and then they picked up the flag, which I thought it was still an illegal hit. It wasn't a dirty hit, but it was definitely an illegal hit. And don't get me wrong, I'm a Broncos stan because my dad's a Broncos fan, so I'm always rooting for the Broncos to win. Still think it was an illegal hit.
Well, it was Stroud's head went back and hit the turf.
Yeah, it wasn't that he wasn't like a helmet hit. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you watch that hit like live from like a slight distance, you know, or like from just like that like wide angle, then you're like, oh my god, he got lit up. And you watch it and you're like, oh, he took like a tough hit to the upper chest and then his head bounced off the turf.
Yeah, I just think it was an illegal hit because it was obviously a runner giving himself up.
I think there should be a thing called learn how to fucking slide, kid.
That was a better. I forget who it was. I was watching a different game with like an actual running quarterback in a way that I don't think of C.J. Stroud, and that guy like just collapsed forward into a heap when he went to slide. Yeah. I can't remember who it was now, but like the C.J. Stroud slide, that was like, ooh, this guy played baseball.
If I was like a head ref, teams would know coming into my games. Like they would have their QBs practicing their slides because I'd be a stickler. If it was not like picture perfect slide technique, I would not throw the flag.
I have realized a basketball hipster take I have, which is that actually Scott Foster is fine. Tony Brothers is the problem.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. We'll talk about that more on Baskey, or we won't. One of the two. I'm not going to get distracted talking about NBA refs in the middle of a football podcast. Brian Thomas Jr. exits with an ankle injury, which is relevant because Travis Hunter, everyone's favorite 2-time number 1 pick, is out for the rest of the season with an ACL injury that they're hoping is a minor tear or maybe not a tear. We're not sure. It's something. We're not really sure about that, but he didn't play this week. So I started Brian Thomas in fantasy being like, he won't disappoint me this week. This will be the time that everything works out. And then he left with an ankle injury. Joe Walt, ankle injury, done for the season. Puka Nacua left with a rib injury. In typical Puka fashion, I'm sure if that game was close, he would have come back. But that game, Mike, was not close.
No, it wasn't.
And everyone's favorite 49ers first-round draft pick Michael Williams left with a knee injury, and he is done for the season.
The Travis Hunter one's real like a tree falls in a wood situation.
Travis Hunter was just starting to get hot.
That's true. He finally it was the week before, 2 games before he had his first touchdown.
But you know what this means? He'll have a lot more time to finally attend those defensive meetings.
Yes, that's true.
So I think that there's a relevant jumping off point here. Mike, you famously on the podcast this week. What?
It's a jumping off point.
Egg. You famously on the podcast this week gave out the Jacksonville Jaguars as your survivor pool pick.
Duval, baby.
They made it through. What was the point you were most nervous at?
I'd say the whole time.
All of it?
All of it.
I don't know if you've ever met Mike before, but he's a being of pure anxiety, so that does track.
Right off the bat, like it wasn't looking great in the first quarter. Like it wasn't looking like, oh, they're gonna there wasn't a lot of reason for optimism in the first quarter. So, and then there was a point when it was after the Jags took the lead for the first time, and then the Raiders immediately responded.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit, I think Duval might cost me. This is gonna be a heartbreaker. But we made it.
Yeah.
One thing I will say.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's about that game in general. God damn, Brock Bowers is so fucking good.
Yeah. 127 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Few tight ends can walk in and make a passing offense look so much different.
Yeah, that passing offense looked legitimately incompetent for the last 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then a healthy Brock Bowers comes in and it's like, oh, they're fine. Like, not to spoil something coming up here in a second, but we have our a segment I'm calling Glass Half Full, Glass Half Empty. I have Raiders as half full because it's like, listen, no matter what's going wrong this season, you got Ashton Genty and you got Brock Bowers.
Right.
The offensive line is shit. Max Crosby's getting long in the tooth. Geno Smith, it's time for him to quietly exit stage left. But the next quarterback who steps in here, I mean, hopefully a higher quality one, and the coaching staff who's going to get the job after Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly die in a murder-suicide.
Mm-hmm.
The next quarterback who steps in gets to walk into an offense with Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
Like, you can't ask for much better than that.
Yeah, when you have a tight end playing at the level that Bowers is, it opens things up for you, like roster building wise, because you don't need to be like, God, we have to have like a dominant X receiver, like a Jamar Chase, like well-rounded dominant X. It's like, you know, we just need some fast motherfuckers on the outside.
Just Trey Tucker's all over the place.
Yeah, and then we just got Brock Bowers. We'll do whatever we want with him. He can win a contested catch. We don't care. Let's just get some fast people.
So I do want to point out for this game, Mike, for you to win and stay alive in our Survivor League and not embarrass yourself on a YouTube short that I want to brag has almost 200 views. You had to get a record-setting field goal and the Raiders going for the win in overtime instead of the tie.
Yeah.
They went for the 2-point conversion, failed, and you won. But you also needed a 68-yard field goal by Cam Little.
I did. That's why I should have known that they were going to pull this out for me, though. Yeah. Cam Little.
You know, in the history of the NFL, no one has ever hit a 68-yard field goal and lost.
History has never happened.
Never happened before. Also, Cam Little, 22 years old.
One thing that's not little is dick. And his, he kicks it very far.
He does. He does kick it very far. I made our thumbnail for the stream. Nick Sirianni. I really should have made it Cam Little. I'm gonna post a picture of this guy real quick here. You gotta see this guy.
Now I'm thinking though.
Look at this guy. This guy holds an NFL record.
Where did you put him?
General chat.
General. Look at that. Look at that guy. Look at that little guy.
That guy has an NFL record.
Is that his real hair?
he's wearing a Bo Burnham wig.
Yeah.
He woke up and said, I want to look like Ellen DeGeneres today.
Yeah. Shout out to, this is a Cam Little podcast though. Little was the dude who
Can we do a weekly segment called Little Talk?
Yeah.
Where we just talk about Cam Little.
This was him making it official though, because wasn't Little the kicker in the preseason?
Hit it from 70.
Was it 70? Yeah.
Kicked a 70-yard field goal in preseason.
Yeah, and they were like, preseason doesn't count. And this time he was like, well, I got the record anyway. You know what I would do next? Like if I'm Duval, if I'm Coach Cohen, if I'm the man himself, and we're ahead in the game, and we get the ball, and we have like in the fourth quarter, and we have like 1st and 10, but the distance for the field goal would be like 69 or like 70. Nice. I'd be like, send him out.
Yeah.
What? I just want to see if you can do it. Send him out.
Here's what I want. I just want a playoff game like if the Super Bowl came down to Brendan Aubrey and Cam Little dueling 70-yard field goals, that would be the height of NFL television. I would rather watch that than watch Jalen Hurts throw 7-9 balls to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith against a depleted Chiefs secondary.
You think we could get into a world where we see kickers kick more field goals of 40 yards and out than we do field goals of like 30 and in?
I think that's the best place for kickers, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I before the season, I had a take that said we get rid of kicking in the NFL, right?
Yeah, but yours was like wild.
here's I think where the ideal middle ground is. If you are inside of the 40, go for it. Like barring a 4th and 12, right? If you are inside the 40 with the current way we have the rule set up, where most kickoffs are going around the 35, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're inside the 40, it is just a plus win percentage move to go for it on anything. 4th and 8, 4th and 10. Like once you are at the distance where it's like there's no chance. Yeah, kick a field goal, punt, whatever. But inside the 40, you should just be going for it constantly. Like you're playing fucking Madden with your buddy on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the 40, where now you're giving up really good field position to the other team, and now field goal kickers are hitting everything from downtown, kick the field goal. Like the 40, a 50 to 70-yard field goal should be all kickers are kicking anymore.
I mean, this was a few weeks back, but I saw like Greg Olson had basically he had like that take where he was like, with the way kicking is getting better on top of how the new kickoff rules are, why would you not, like, you're better off going from like the, like, let's say like 15-yard line, right? Not getting it and getting no points instead. And then, your defense, you're giving them the ball at the 15 compared to you kick the field goal, you get 3 points. Then you kick the ball off and the other team is 2 first downs away from being in field goal range.
Yeah.
And then them getting those points back. He was like, and he just talked about how like that is the way he felt like things are starting to go in the NFL. And I was like, that's pretty smart, Greg Olson. I don't really like your play-by-play, but you do know
I
ball.
love Greg Olson on color. He's my favorite guy.
Gets on my nerves. He's no Gus Johnson.
Do you think that in that sketch, the I Think You Should Leave sketch, where they have the solution where you slowly change out your hairpiece until you're bald, do you think that like day 1 is Cam Little and like day 71 is Greg Olson?
Yes. That's what it is.
All right, Mike.
Greg
we
used
are
to
not
have long locks, didn't he, in his heyday, right?
Greg Olson?
Yeah.
You're thinking of Clay Matthews.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Mike, we are not exclusively a Cam Little podcast, despite the first 28 minutes of this episode. We are, in fact, a general NFL podcast, and I, as teased previously, have a little segment for us, as we are now past halfway for you sticklers out there, into the NFL season, where I wanted to play a little game called Glass Half Empty, Glass Half Full, where I am going to go through a few different teams here. I don't know how many teams you have lined up. I have a bunch of them lined up, just however much time we need, basically.
Okay.
And I want to talk about if this team's outlook is half empty or half full. So none of them are absolute, like, tailpipe-sucking bottom dwellers, and none of them are, hey, just let Puka Nacua sit in the locker room despite the fact that he comes back from an injury every week, front runners.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of people in the mushy middle of the NFL, and I'm making the case if they should have a glass half full or glass half empty outlook going forward.
Yeah.
Make plenty of sense?
Make plenty of sense.
Let me throw out my first team for you here, Mike. Now this one's going to catch you a little bit off guard, right? Because I said no tailpipe-sucking bottom dwellers.
Mm-hmm.
But the Washington Commanders, those tailpipe-sucking bottom dwellers, this is a half-empty season. I mean, there's no other way to put it, right? Like, if you're talking about the future, there is a case to be made that sophomore slumps are real. Jay Dales is going to come back with the strongest left elbow in the game and hopefully add a little bit more weight and add an under-center game. And he's going to be on a team with Terry McLaurin, Debo Samuels, BJCM, a very good offensive line once Sam Cosmi is back, and hopefully a much-improved defense with the top 2 cornerbacks being Trey Amos and Mike Samersell instead of Marshawn Lattimore. But this season, there's no other way to put it than a team last year that made the NFC Conference Championship game is going to fully miss the playoffs this year. Now, what can they get with that top pick? Drew Aller, perhaps? No?
No, I wouldn't do that. I'd wait and see how Daniels comes back from the injury.
Well, I mean, That's the nice thing about Drew Aller is he doesn't have to play quarterback.
He might not be healthy to do it at that point either.
Yeah. He's just a great locker room guy, Mike. He's in that commercial. He had those DMs on Instagram leak.
Yeah. Everybody has DMs leak nowadays.
And he's a kid. He wants to eat ass. Can you really blame him?
Can't blame him. So that's what our founding fathers died for.
Do you have any teams listed, or do you want me to just keep going through mine here?
How many do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Just go through all yours, and if you don't hit mine, then we'll circle back around at the end.
All right, next up, the Bizarro Commanders, the anti-commanders, the alternate timeline commanders, the Chicago Bears.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say the capitalists because they're the commies. So the Bizarro would be the capitalists. Go ahead.
The Chicago Bears. Half full season for the Chicago Bears, Mike.
Wild.
You think it's not a half full season? Here's the thing, right?
No, the Bears game yesterday.
Yes, the Bears game yesterday was unhinged. My group chat was losing its mind. Bears are 5-3. They are sitting third in their division, and I would say, after this weekend, firmly the worst team in the North. Just roster-wise.
The Bears?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Gonna elaborate on that, or are you just gonna sit quietly and hope that I start talking again?
No, I just think it's tough to say the Bears are the worst team in the North. I think it's tough to say that.
Because of all the letters involved, or?
No, I think it's a hot take incoming. I think it's a very, very close race for being the second best team in the North behind Detroit.
Well, Detroit's in second place in the North right now.
I'm talking about my personal rankings.
So the Bears, as Mike said, with so many words, in a conversation to be somewhere between 2 and 4 in the North.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people are going to focus on this, right? They're going to focus on Caleb Williams still does not look like he is ever going to be a all-pro caliber quarterback. But here's why it's half full, Mike. They have hit every other draft pick. Luther Burden looks great. After Kmet goes out, Colston Loveland looks great. Their offensive line is holding up much better than it did last year. Their defense and the pieces that are injured, their secondary is obviously pretty hurt, looks awesome. Tremaine Edmonds, who they historically signed to too big of a contract, had a pick 6. They got called back.
He's good. People need to stop being mean to him.
And even more importantly than your picks hitting, Ben Johnson's got it, man. Piss Pants Ben Johnson's got that juice.
Yeah, he was in sicko mode yesterday. Some of his play calls. He was getting wild.
He said, Ben Johnson walked into this game plan and said, all right, we aren't going to win with Caleb Williams as quarterback, but we might win with him as wide receiver.
Yeah.
And they sure did. They ran a double handoff Philly special.
Mm-hmm.
They ran a wing T wishbone with Caleb Williams motioned out to wide receiver. They had passes thrown by 4 different players? 3 different players? Something like that? Like, Ben Johnson was in his absolute piss-soaked pockets.
Isn't there an argument, though, that that's a bad sign?
Why?
Because you have to get weird and crazy so you can have a last-second 5-point victory against the Bengals.
Okay.
You got to get really weird because your team isn't good enough to just run an NFL offense.
Right, but, like, when Mahomes and Andy Reid run a trick play in a game, they win by 1 touchdown. We're like, that Andy Reid still got it. They ran a trip fake flea flicker to a wide open Rashid Rice in a game they won by 4.
That's true. I'm not saying I think that. I'm just saying there's an argument. People can make that argument.
Way to fucking play the middle there, Mike.
I didn't play the middle.
I'm just saying words that other people might say. I would never say them though. Fucking Trump ass rhetoric coming out of Mike.
I don't know.
I
feel like when you see
many people are saying that Ben Johnson couldn't coach a game if his life depended on it. Many people are saying that. I would never say it, but many people are saying that. They say that he reeks the piss.
And it's he pulled out like I love it when you see great offensive minds like pull out those 1 or 2 wild plays in a game to get it done.
What about 4 or 5?
Yeah, like 5 of them. They like blew their wad in the middle of the season against Cincinnati.
Guess what though, Mike? They Jameis Winston that bitch. They ate that W, motherfucker.
That's right.
Inside of my head now, I'm constantly thinking, like, should I clip this into a social clip? And I am swearing way too much for any of this to be clipped into a social clip.
No, you just bleep it.
Yeah. What sound effects should we put over that? What should be the talent alone over a swear sound effect officially?
Just do the little like dolphin noise from SpongeBob. That one was always funny.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't got anything like funny off the top that I could throw out there.
Or rip one of Romo's weird noises where he's like.
Should we just do the Collinsworth startup noises?
There you go.
Here's a guy, Al.
Maybe what's up with color commentators all sounding like you have to like pull a cord to get them going?
well, because the opposite is Greg Olson, who sounds like, once again, I think Greg Olson is legitimately the best color commentator not working primetime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't beat out Collinsworth or Aikman. But outside of that, I think he's the best guy just working the Sunday slate.
Always disliked Aikman.
I thought you hated Joe Buck.
Yeah, I don't really either of them, but Aikman in particular. I don't think
Joe Buck hates your baseball team or something?
No, I think Troy Aikman. That's what everybody thinks. That's the joke. I think Aikman might be the most like boring color commentator in the game.
Oh, I think now he's just cooking. He's just like, I'm getting paid more money than God to sit in this booth and call one game a week, and I'm just gonna say shit now. But Greg Olson, once again, I love Greg Olson, but he does kind of talk like when you give a 4-year-old the space to tell a story, and they don't they don't like know how to say sentences really well. Yeah. They're like, one time, my friend Jeff and I were outside at Jeff's house, and it's like, whoa, just like take the volume down a little bit and stop wiping your nose on your sleeve in front of me, kid.
Right. A lot of with the
Bears,
because you know the with the and then the
yeah, exactly. So the Bears.
The Bears.
I think Pissfans Finn Johnson's got the juice, man. Like, yeah, you could say like, Blue has won all these trick plays, but guess what? They're 5-3 and they won the fucking game. I get it was Joe Flacco, but they won. They scored 41 points.
True.
47 points.
They scored 47.
Yeah. Short them a touchdown. All right, I've officially defeated Mike's take. Mike's 0 for 2 in this segment.
I mean, don't get me. Like, I mean, like I said, it's not like I hate it. I mean, like, I text you whatever anytime like Ryan Grubb runs a play that's like slightly unorthodox. I'm like, you know, down at Bama, like I love it. So it was just there was a lot of it where I was like, should we be concerned about this? Also,
straight up, should the Raiders draft Ty Simpson and have him replace Geno Smith to prove that Ryan Grubb is good and Geno Smith is bad?
Yes.
Mike, my next team. Halfway point in the season. Time we analyze this team. Maybe the worst 5-4 team all time. Coming off a win. The Panthers. Going half empty.
Yeah, buddy.
Going half empty on the Panthers, Mike. And here's why, right? You might even say this is unfair to the Panthers. But with the success that they are garnering, they are stuck with tiny little Bryce Young and Dave Canales. Yeah. They're doing slightly too good. It's the Kyler Murray effect. When Kyler and Cliff were there for so long, because they were doing slightly too good to fire, but not good enough to ever believe in. Like this game, Bryce Young had less passing yards than Rico Dowdle had rushing yards.
Dowdle. Do you see the BS that he didn't hit the third pump and he got flagged?
Yeah, I don't know if you know this or not, but Key and Peele sketches don't mean that they're actual rules.
Oh, come on. Like, that guy really never see the sketch? What a loser, that ref.
You think he's like a big Get Out guy, but doesn't know that Key and Peele, like that Jordan Peele came from a sketch comedy show?
Probably not. Yeah, Bryce, he's had one game over 300. Every other game was under 200 passing yards wise.
Yeah. Bryce Young is the reverse Pissfans Finn Johnson. He does not have the juice, Mike.
No.
It's time to admit it. But that being said, they've won 4 straight. 27-24 over Miami, 30-27 over Dallas, 13-6 over the Jets, and 16-13 over the Packers.
Got a winning streak on. Well, no, they lost the Bills, so they've won 4 of their last 5.
4 of the last 5. Sorry, I was looking at Bryce Young, his record, and he missed that Dalton game. Yeah, he did start the Dalton game. Is it time, Mike, to try the some of the depth players to see if they have anything at quarterback, just to see?
Just to see.
Yeah,
Nah, I think
so. Hendon Hooker.
No, I think we know.
Mike White.
We know.
Now, let me ask you this. Is this Rico Dowdle thing going to keep happening? Or at some point is Rico Dowdle going to stop being the Jonathan Taylor of the NFC?
I don't know. For the first couple weeks, it was like, God, he was playing some terrible defenses. This isn't a real thing. But had a pretty damn good day against a Packers defense who everybody says is supposed to be really good. So,
yeah. And so ignoring the Buffalo game where you guys held him to 54 yards. 206 yards, 183 yards, 79 yards against the Jets, and 130 against Green Bay.
I feel like that game says a lot about Green Bay.
Yeah, it says that they lost. That's for sure.
It sucks a little much, but
Mike, moving over to your conference. The Baltimore Ravens. We just had it. It's sushi. The Baltimore Ravens. Half full.
Here we go.
Half full.
Here we go.
Mike, the Ravens are back? Question mark?
I told you this was going to happen.
Mike, they won a football game 28-6. We don't need to talk about who they played, but they won 28-6.
Got a GM fired.
Got a GM fired. There was chance of MVP for a team that was 2-5 at the time. What is the funniest legitimate situation you could think of for MVP chance?
Bryce Young.
Okay, that's not going to happen. So that one doesn't count.
Right.
You see, but like a 2-5 team having MVP chance is pretty great. Or like you made the case that Justin Simmons going out should make him Rookie of the Year because of how bad the Chiefs' offensive line has been since he went out.
Yeah.
What if people started Joe Burrow MVP chance because the Bengals played so bad with Jake Browning?
Win MVP by your absence being so large?
Yeah.
That'd be wild.
It goes to show that you are the most valuable player. Now, what we've learned subsequently is actually Joe Burrow's not that great. It's just that offense. You just throw the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and it's fine.
The defense is just terrible.
Yeah. I think Joe Burrow, just overrated. Joe Flacco, just as good as Joe Burrow.
Oh, yeah. It's a Joe thing.
Yeah. That's why they should have signed Joe Montana. Yeah. Lamar Jackson, in his return, his triumphant return, 4 touchdowns, 204 yards. Derrick Henry finally got back over 100 yards. And Zay Flowers, still not fantasy relevant. No wide receiver on the Ravens will ever be fantasy relevant. Give it up now. It's never going to happen. But they held the Miami Dolphins scoreless in the second half, which isn't that impressive, but its defense has really struggled. So, that's something. Are the Ravens back, Mike? Half full. Is it from here on out? Are they going undefeated for the next 9 games? Going to end up 12-5?
Well, I knew this was going to happen. They would Lamar would get healthy. They go on a run, beat up on some bad teams, and they have a good chunk more of them still to play. For example, they still have Cleveland, New York, 2 Bengals games on the docket. They still have both of their games against the Steelers on the docket as well. They're not out of the race for their division.
The Steelers and Ravens have scored the same amount of points.
Right.
The Steelers have had Aaron Rodgers all year, and Lamar Jackson's played, 1.5 games?
Yeah, not much. Well, I think it's 2.5, but still.
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah, so back, I don't know if I'd say back, but yeah, they're going to make a run. They'll probably end up in the playoffs. I'll go ahead and just put my stamp on that now.
I do think it's funny that I started higher with the Ravens are back, and I haven't even mentioned the Bills, who once again demolished Kansas City in a regular season game.
Let's not give them too much. All right, let's keep them hungry.
I think that the final score on that one is going to leave a lot of people thinking it was closer, but that last Kansas City touchdown was a garbage time touchdown, and that game was not close.
Yeah, we fell asleep earlier.
Yeah.
And we let that one happen. We shouldn't have.
Yeah. But I don't have the Bills or the Chiefs on my list, Mike, because the next team I have, the Jacksonville Jaguars, that's a half-empty team, Mike. We're halfway through the season, and it's Not a great outlook for the Jacksonville Jaguars, if you ask me.
I'd say half full because I think on paper this team really isn't as good as their record says, and I think that's because Liam Cohen's so great.
I don't know. How do you just get past the Trevor Lawrence of it all?
Like I said, I think on paper this team isn't that good.
I can't think of an NFL quarterback in history who has been as confounding as Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Like, he number 1 overall pick, supposed to be a generational prospect, gets into the NFL, and he's just never had it. Like, there's never been a time where you would put him, like, you would never VJ Edgecombe him. You wouldn't put him in the top 5 at any point.
No.
He's in the second year of a $275 million contract, his rookie extension, that runs through his age 31 season.
That contract at the time was such a, well, we have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the cap hit's relatively low until 2029. But still, like, Trevor Lawrence, and this is where the half empty comes from. There's no pathway to getting a quarterback who is better than Trevor Lawrence. Now, do you need a quarterback better than Trevor Lawrence to win a championship? In the AFC, probably. But they have Liam Cohen. Apparently, whatever running back you put back there in a Cohen offense will look great, because Bashal Tootin looked like fucking Reggie Bush. Do you think that when he runs, like, can we describe that as tooting his way down the field?
Okay, I thought you were going to say if he farted while he ran.
That's so immature, Mike.
I know. My mind went to a much more immature place.
They have Brian Thomas Jr., who, despite having the weirdest middle of the field yips I've ever seen, I still believe is an X receiver, a true X receiver.
I agree.
Travis Hunter, who at any point might be good at one of the 2 positions he plays. Just like,
you just can't get past the Trevor Lawrence of it all?
you just can't get past the Trevor Lawrence of it, man. Like, is he Geno Smith with a $275 million cap hit? Is he Phillip Rivers without the supporting cast? Like, what is he?
I don't really know. He threw that one pick yesterday, and then they showed him on the sidelines looking at the it's gonna sound so mean. They showed him on the sidelines looking at the tablet, and he got frustrated after he saw what the play. And for some reason, I was taken aback by him showing that much emotion.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, look at that.
Yeah. You see him in the commercial with Travis Hunter where they're doing, what is it, Clueless?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, I don't know about this guy. Like, just right away. You just see that commercial.
Right.
I famously, I like how I advertise. We had one video go over 500 views, and now I describe everything we do as famously. I famously was out on Trevor Lawrence as soon as he was on the Manning cast and seemed to not really understand the game of football all that well.
It feels like an issue that the organization just wants to not address as long as they possibly can until they have that year where they're like practically like should have won or been to the Super Bowl, but they just didn't get enough at QB. Then they'll finally be forced to address it. I feel like until that happens, they won't.
They kind of need a Derek Carr situation. Like, they almost need him to have a season-ending injury where they can just mutually agree to part ways.
Yeah.
And then he can go play for, what is the most Trevor Lawrence second team in the NFL?
Dolphins.
I was going to say the Falcons.
Oh, I can see. Hey.
I'm not saying nothing about Michael Penix, right? Just the situation. What is the team that feels the most like Trevor Lawrence's second team?
Right.
Falcons.
Colts.
Well, the Colts, I guess the Colts might actually be in the QB market now that Danny Dimes turned back into Danny Nichols.
Yeah.
He's now Indiana Jones in the Crystal Skull, Mike.
Yep.
He's bad. That's what I'm getting at.
I thought you were going to say that he survived a nuclear blast by hiding inside a refrigerator.
That wasn't in the Crystal Skull, Mike!
Yeah, it was.
No. The refrigerator wasn't. Oh, was that Crystal Skull?
It's Crystal Skull, yeah.
Skull. That was Crystal Skull. You're right. I'm
sorry.
sorry. I'm sorry for yelling at you. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
All right.
So we talked about that. D.
The
Jones.
Crystal Skull? Oh.
No. Welcome to Cotan, a film and movie podcast where we talk about Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. D. Jones, 31 for 50, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions in a 7-point loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Only the Colts' second loss of the season. Jonathan Taylor held to 45 yards.
How many carries, though?
14.
Okay, yeah, so they did feed him a decent amount. I feel like there was times where they probably could have kept feeding him more.
They just fell behind early. I mean,
yeah.
well, they not early. They fell behind in the second, and they just started throwing the ball. I mean, D. Jones had 50 attempts.
Yeah, that's just too much. It's like that's just too much. 6 turnovers on the day wasn't pretty. I mean, you don't want to overreact and be like, I mean, there is part of me that wants to overreact and be like, I told you, frauds. They all frauds.
Let me ask you this: glass half full or glass half empty for the Colts?
Glass half full.
What's their future outlook? Like, I agree this year, right? Glass half full. But is this just Minnesota from last year? An easy out in the wild card round? Is this team legit? Has it just saved Steichen's job? What are they next year?
I think they are a good team. A lot of good pieces, but I do think they have I don't know if I don't feel confident enough. 8 games into the season now, saying that Daniel Jones is definitely the answer. Like no, he's probably not the answer, but this is glass half full because this I think does show you that Steichen was the right choice at head coach.
Yeah, it only took 7 years of being a head coach.
3
to finally emerge.
3.
Was the problem Anthony Richardson? That's the question.
Yeah, I mean, it may have just been a bad situation there for a soup like that. May have not been a good place for a very raw QB to go.
Yeah, he can go play for the Jags next year. If he can see.
Yeah, that's true. It's not funny.
Really got Mike.
No, he has to go play for the Bucks because he's have an eye patch on.
Yeah. But what is this team next year? Like you said, glass half full this year. Sure, they're outperforming expectations just about any way that you shape it. They're going to win that division by a pretty clear margin. But what are they next year?
I mean, if they're smart, they will be a good team next year, but it will be one that will be very different in the sense that they will look at what they've done this year and they'll be able to properly target this is legit, this guy's legit, but we know that this wasn't. We know that this was overperforming and this was an outlier. So let's address the outliers to maintain the success instead of just banking on things. I still don't believe the Daniel Jones thing. I'm sorry. That's one of the biggest ones here. And I think we saw it in this game. He struggled against a good defense.
A good defense that has not performed well this year.
Right. Yeah, I mean, no matter what the numbers say, whenever you play the Steelers because they have TJ Watt, people are like, oh, up against tough defense.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations.
They're shopping Minkah Fitzpatrick, by the way. I'm sorry. They're not. The Dolphins are.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're Mika Rantanen in his ass.
I like they should be shopping everybody.
They are. They are selling everyone.
Except
also,
for Ollie Gordon.
Let me say this. Minkah Fitzpatrick is washed.
Yeah.
If I was the Bills, I'd still probably trade for him.
Maxwell Harrison got a pick in his second career game, right?
Okay, but couldn't you use a combo safety with all the injuries you've had in the secondary?
Yeah, we definitely could. Cole Bishop played the game of his life yesterday. Shout out to the Ute, Cole Bishop. That's what everybody needs. You got to have a strong white boy safety. That's how you win championships. Look at Eric Weddle. He has no championships.
Dude,
but
Harrison Smith had a sack yesterday.
See? They're timeless, too. If you draft a solid white boy safety, you're he's playing for 15 years.
I like us just ripping off white boy safeties in the middle of this podcast like it's nothing.
Nothing.
Isn't Kyle Hamilton half Asian?
I don't know. No, he's definitely not white though. I can tell you that.
He is from the U though.
No, he's not.
Notre Dame University. What do you mean?
He's from the UND.
I got a couple more for you here, Mike. Just want to get your quick take on them. I have question marks for both of these, and I want to know what you think. The Chiefs, half empty, half full.
It's just a typical glass.
Mike saw a glass that has exactly the midpoint of water and went, this glass has water in it. On to the next question.
That is the Chiefs. When you're in the current window of time that this franchise is in, when you have the QB and the infrastructure they currently have, that window that they're in, that Patriots-esque window,
Yes.
glass is just always the glass. There's no half empty, half full.
So the big thing from this game was just first off, we talked about piss pants Ben Johnson being in his cargo shorts once again that were full of piss.
Yeah.
McDermott was kind of in his shorts on this one too. McDermott was going deep in his bag. The disguised cover twos where they showed cover one and then popped cover two out of it, that was sick. Just with a box safety dropping back into cover two from the line, like looking like they were going to blitz and dropping all the way back into cover two. That's sick.
I like how you give no credit to Bobby Babbage.
I don't know who that is. Is that like...
That's our DC.
Is that like a vaudevillian style comedic act?
That's our defensive coordinator.
Are you sure? Yeah. That sounds like the guy that would have played opposite Buster Keaton in The General. It'd been Buster Keaton and Bobby Badich in The General.
By title, he is technically our defensive coordinator. Now, how often does he call the plays? How often does he call one and then McDermott goes, "No, we're doing this one." He goes, "Yes, sir, McDermott." I don't know.
But the Chiefs
suck.
Next week they play the Broncos and then the Colts. Those are two good defenses in a row.
Mm-hmm.
What will you feel about this Chiefs season if they come out of that losing 3 straight, including the one to the Bills yesterday?
So good.
Will you be like, oh, they're not contenders this year?
No, they're all.
Or does nothing matter before January with this team?
Nothing matters before January with this team. And I still think like they are a deadly team in the sense that like when the offensive line is playing good, like I do think that whatever Josh Simmons is dealing with in his personal life that's kept away from the team has been very noticeable. Like we were like Joey Bosa in particular, money well spent. He was on Mahomes' ass yesterday.
Yeah, is that the best acquisition of a pass rusher you've ever seen? Like, can you name another time where a team acquired a pass rusher and he's been as effective as Joey Bosa's been for the last 3-4 games?
I mean, when Vaughn went to LA, it worked out really well.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. In my head, Von Miller went Broncos, Bills Commies.
No. So, yeah, this was kind of like our try-to at taking the vet pass rusher on a short-term deal. It's going to make a difference. And it was working out with Miller, and then his body failed him. But, Bosa played really good yesterday. I think that back to my point, like when their offensive line plays good, what they can do on the outside with guys like Rice and Worthy is extremely dangerous. But I think so. Like they're set up to where they can still win a Super Bowl. I still believe is the point. I'm like being way too long-winded in making. Like I think they have the pieces there. It's just a matter of if they come up against a team that, like, as much as I hate strong word. As much
hate.
as I, what?
Sports hate
Sean McDermott at times. He still is like a top half of the league coach.
Yeah, I'll
and
trade Dan Quinn right now.
And the Bills are still a very well run team. So like it's a lot of X's and O's when you play the Chiefs.
The Chiefs have won 3 of their 4 games have been multi-score wins. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. I was right. 3 of their 4 games. No, all of them have been multi-score wins. All of their wins have been multi-score wins.
Yeah.
All of their losses have been 1-score games.
So they can't win a close game. They don't got that dog in them. Mahomes doesn't have that Mamba mentality.
It's the regression to the mean from last year. Remember last year, they were 11-0 in 1-score games.
That's interesting. It's almost like something not happening in those games. Like it's like a little piece of like cloth not making its way onto the field at important moments. This was a surprisingly there was one call in the first quarter, a Dawson Knox offensive holding that got me to do the high pitch. What? But other than that, I didn't get mad at the rest at all in that game. I was actually surprised.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating that the two teams that have been to the last 2 Super Bowls are both the teams that we complain the most about how the refs treat them.
Yeah.
No one's ever sitting there and going, you know who gets a soft flag? Those Cincinnati Bengals.
Those goddamn Bengals.
My last team here, Mike, and then we can burn through some of yours.
Yeah.
The Houston Texans. Houston Texans. Half empty or half full?
Half empty.
So here's why I ask instead of having a definitive answer for you. This team has such a good defense, and D'Amico Ryans is doing everything to make these games winnable. So you know you have those two pieces. Like, I wouldn't fire D'Amico. I think that defense is fucking awesome. However, the offense is placid and useless. Like
placid. Good word.
Like an 80-year-old man's penis.
Isn't that flaccid?
Well, it could be both.
Okay.
It could be a flaccid penis. And it shouldn't be, right? They have CJ Stroud. They have Nico Collins. They drafted 2 wide receivers in the top 2 days. Woody Marks is supposed to be this explosive element out of the backfield. And they just can't get anything done. So the reason I ask, is this half empty or half full? Is this a one-year fix? Is this a, we get the right offensive play caller in and we fix things? Or is this a, man, the CJ Stroud's rookie season is becoming the albatross around our neck? What a literary allusions today on this podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like what they need to do for the next, this next offseason is just say, we don't care about receiver, which is wrong. They should. But, we need to make sure we have, everything else on this offense figured out.
Well, they have the receiver figured out, right?
They do?
They have Nico Collins.
True.
Who cares about your wide receiver, too?
But that's what all the talk was going into the year. Was that needing more depth at wide receiver, which I feel like sometimes until you lose multiple games because of the depth of wide receiver, people who constantly point out a team's lack of wide receiver, it's like cope. It's like, no, you have other problems.
Yeah, this is classic how the Cowboys ended up with Dak, where for 2 years straight, Tony Romo went out with an injury for a good Cowboys team. And for some reason, the media cycle became, well, you got to have a good backup quarterback. That's what Dallas needs to focus on. No. You don't need to plan for what to do when your starting quarterback goes out. Now, they lucked ass backwards into a top 5 quarterback. But the plan should never be, all right, well, we're not one move away, but let's be concerned with depth at a position that we already have solidified. You shouldn't be going out there saying, look, we really need to investigate this wide receiver situation when you have Nico Collins and Jake Ferguson. Those guys do well enough on their own. You can make some combination of Tank Dell, Jalen Lane, and whoever the third guy they drafted is. Wait, is Jalen Lane the commander? What are the 2 guys they drafted?
Jaden Higgins.
And Jalen Knoll.
Jalen Knoll, yes.
Jalen Knoll. They need to fix their offensive line. And I think that they're in the midst of that, right? I think this year you know how a few years ago when the Eagles were like, their cornerbacks aren't very good. They just drafted a shitload of cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to do that. Where they need to say, we need to fix our offensive line. In the draft, we're going 4 of 7 picks at O-line. Now, the problem with that is, as we all know, Mike, Nick Caserio fucking sucks. So he's probably not going to do that. But that should be their plan. And so, to get back to the main point here, the glass half empty, glass half full. I just need you to take a first take-esque side in this. Is this a 1-year fix, or do they have a much bigger problem for this roster?
I think they have a much bigger problem for this roster. They burnt through the war chest they got from the deal with Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And
the deal with Cleveland.
And the Stroud's taking a step back. This offensive line needs help, and it doesn't seem like you have the guy at the top who should probably be the guy leading the charge as far as on the field and being in D'Amico Ryans. It's now questionable whether or not you have the right guy calling the shots in the front office, Nick Caserio. This team, I think,
would say for years we've been on the beat that they have the wrong guy in the front office.
So, it's great that you have a good defense, but you know who else has a great defense? The Browns, and their glass is also not even half full or empty. Their glass is just empty.
Yeah. Their glass got drank by Dylan Gabriel, and he didn't realize that it was part of the conversation. Do you think Shadur Sanders walks around with a fake glass too to go with his mime, and he goes
fake drinks water?
Those are all the teams I have, Mike. Is there anyone else that you want to talk about here in this segment that we didn't get to?
Did I get my chance to poop on the Packers? I feel like I touched on it.
You touched on it, but if you really want to go hard, if you want to just
No.
bear down and poo,
I guess
go for it.
that doesn't really fit into like glass half full, half empty. So I'm gonna let it go. I just think that they're fraudulent, and we need to stop acting like they have a chance to win a Super Bowl. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I stopped that after week 3, I think. They just
I
look,
think more-
when they're bad, they look so bad, man.
Like, and I get it. It's not the NFL's different from college football. So like, college football, there will always be a lot of like resume talk. Like they got this win, oh, but they got that loss. It's different in the NFL. I get that, but like 2-year losses are to now to the Browns and the Panthers.
Yeah,
in games where you got, I think, a total of like what 20 points, 23 points in those 2 games you guys scored,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and then they also have a tie, which to me is a failure of leadership.
Also, we all need to settle in and finally admit, like Jordan Love, good quarterback. Jordan Love, as as the old meme goes, not elite.
Yeah, he's. I think everyone want to do the Hall of Fame succeeded by Hall of Fame succeeded by Hall of Fame thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jordan Love probably not going to be a future Hall of Famer. Jordan Love probably will make an All-Pro team at some point.
Yeah, he's not a guy you get rid of because the chances of you replacing him with someone better in the near future are slim.
Yeah.
But
unless you draft a guy in the second round and have him sit behind Jordan Love for 2 seasons and then trade Jordan Love to the Jets and have that guy start. Listen, I'm just saying. Ty Simpson falls a little bit. Couple years behind Jordan Love, learning the ropes.
Ty Simpson doesn't just have that dog in him; he's got a whole kennel. All right.
Let me know if you have any desire to talk about any of these teams here, real quick. Let me just throw out a few for you. Atlanta Falcons.
God. Half empty, I guess. I don't know. Kicking is setting you back.
Kicking's always set them back. Every year
still.
that Atlanta's been competitive, they just suddenly have a kicker who's like, yeah, can't make field goals. Don't know why. My foot fell off.
Like, this wasn't like, they missed that extra point, but the Patriots went and hung up more points, so it really didn't matter. Like, nope, you lost because of that missed extra point.
Yeah.
That was the difference on the scoreboard. And your guys who you drafted highly, who you need to cook, they're cooking this year. Drake London's such a dude. He doesn't get enough talk about how much of a dude he is.
Drake London, such a dude, 118 yards, 3 touchdowns. Michael Penix Jr., I would say, outplayed Drake May, who everyone wants to blow. Michael Penix Jr., same draft, outplayed him.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson, 12 carries for 46 yards. All right, maybe not the best Bijan game around, but you know.
Hey, 12 carries, 46. That's like, what, 3.8? Sounds a little under.
Yeah, you nailed it, 3.8. Good job, bud. Chargers, you got any Chargers thoughts?
Oh, boy. Jesus. Half empty.
Damn.
It's half empty.
Is it just because of the injuries, or?
Yeah, because like Joe Alt now may be out for an extended
he's out for the
period
season.
of time. He's okay.
Joe Alt and
like,
Rashawn Slater are officially out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, your season's done. Maybe because of your record and you could get in as a wild card team, but you're not getting this. Like your season's done without those guys. It's just not happening.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Half full, I think.
McCarthy is
weird.
McCarthy wakes up before a game and he flips a coin, and if it's heads, he's gonna play like a top 3 quarterback out of that draft, and if it's tails, he's gonna play like if Spencer Rattler got a brain injury.
If Rattler got rattled.
Yeah. The rattled snake.
Yeah, Minnesota. Their seasons always have to be so weird. Like week by week, like where you would put them, like rank them is just always different. You never really know.
When's the last time that you felt like you sat down to watch Minnesota week 1 and you were like, I know what this team's gonna be?
Never.
Yeah.
Even
in our lifetime, literally never.
Yeah, never.
Yeah. You wanna do any Shuck talk? You got any Shuck thoughts?
I didn't really get much eyes on Shuck. It was during the Bills game, so if I wasn't paying attention to the Bills game, my second screen was on Duval. Keep me alive in Survivor. I checked in on the game once in a while and just saw that the Rams kept beating dad ass. So
let me say this about Tyler Shuck. I can't imagine that Rattler would have done any worse.
No,
they're the same player. One's just taller than the other.
Yeah.
That's all I really got for the segment, Mike. If there's anyone else that you feel a need for speed to talk about here, let me know. But otherwise, I'll move us on to our final segment because I'm going to cut one of our segments here real quick.
What segment are you cutting?
You'll see once you agree with me or not.
All right, well, let's move on.
All right, Mike. So the big piece of news coming out of the weekend was that Chris Greer was fired in the midseason.
don't know why I made that noise. They didn't shoot him.
Forced him out. I can't imagine a reason to fire a GM mid-season unless you just want to get ahead on the coaching search. Somehow, McDaniel is going to survive until the offseason before he gets canned.
I don't know if he's going to now.
What's up?
Wouldn't entirely be surprised if the ownership likes McDaniel, and that's why they did it this way.
Yeah. I mean, where else are they going to get their LSD from?
Right.
But Greer getting fired makes absolutely no sense to me. I mean, they're in the depths of getting ready for the draft now. Like, when you see a GM gets fired like a week before the draft, you're like, ooh, don't know about that. Mm-hmm. But at least all the pre-work's done. Right now, like, was Greer, like, showing up in sweatpants, and they were like, hey, Chris, we want to talk to you about potential plans for quarterback. And he goes, I'm just looking at punters this week. Like, did he just phone it in? Did he quiet quit? And that's why they fired? Like, I just can't figure out why you would fire a GM now. And by the way, Chris Greer's been with this team since like 1995. Not as GM, but in various front office roles.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the firing the GM mid-season, like there has to be a system set to where like you feel confident the guy who's filling in for him for right now is still going to be there. And he's going to put the other people in that front office, he's going to put them on task with the direction the team wants to go. So things are already rolling, and then when they get their new guy, he can come in and like, lead the helm. And with the way what he wants to do. But my point being is like there has to be like, but you wouldn't do this now if then you're also going to clean the rest of the house later. Then it's like, all right, so no one's been doing anything this whole time, and the draft's tomorrow. So that would be a problem. But I think if the coach and the GM don't go together and if the GM goes first, then that's a good sign for McDaniels if he has any shot at surviving this.
Yeah, it seems very rare for a team to fire a GM before a coach.
In my head, though, Greer went into a meeting with the ownership, and he was like, "Don't you have to say anything? I agree. Time to move on from McDaniels. We're done with them." And they're like, "Yeah, about that."
So, with that, what I wanted to do is, because this is so odd and so out of the blue, I wanted to do something that's never been done before, Mike. We are going to do a GM hot seat draft.
Oh, wow.
So, Mike.
Fine.
Great. Now no one's going to get the fucking joke there. As part of this draft, I figured that we'll go just back and forth, not snake. Just, I don't know, 4 or 5 rounds until we feel like we've accomplished what we set out here to do. And since your GM, Brandon Bean, is more tenured than my GM, Adam Peters, I figured you should have the first pick.
All right. First pick, Adam Peters. No. There's a lot of this draft board's deep, I think.
I would agree with you.
I would agree. And since I'm a little underprepared, I'm going to go ahead and just go with this one here. I'm going to say Duke Tobin.
Damn, 1999 to 2025, and Tobin is out, according to Mike Regan.
I think it's time to move on. I think outside of drafting, like, been a long stretch. In the Joe Burrow era, he's hit on Burrow, he's hit on Chase, and he's hit on
Higgins.
Yeah,
Trey
Higgins.
Hendrickson.
Trey Hendrickson. That's about it.
Jesse Bates.
I think his most recent draft. I think his most recent draft class has gone very poorly. Got into a unnecessarily public contract dispute with a guy who has like 2 tackles.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
he has more time missed for a contract dispute than he has time playing on an NFL field.
Yeah, and then even worse than the drafting is just he's put his team into a cap situation where it's going to be tough to like re-sign the water boy without it putting you in a tough position to make any other moves.
So I have a few different people in mind here that I could go with for the next pick. Mm-hmm. I think that this guy could go later, but it's my signature player, Mike. I gotta take him. Nick Caserio. My first pick off the board. Yeah. Listen, I'm the author behind the world famous Nick Caserio fucking sucks article. I haunt Nick Caserio's dreams. He wakes up screaming, knowing that I'm watching, I'm lurking. I'm seeing what he's doing, and what he's doing is not a lot of good.
Mm-hmm.
He is the mastermind behind the Deshaun Watson trade. But what have you done for me lately, Nick? The answer is trade away Laramie Tunsil for some reason. So maybe I could have gotten him later. I think that there's some other people that definitely are on hotter seats ahead of him, but sometimes you got to do the bit. Sometimes you got to put your name where it belongs. So, Mike, back to you with your second pick.
So I just love going after GMs for bad teams who've been there a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and say Mickey Loomis. Come on down.
Oh, my God. Mickey Loomis is going to outlive all of us.
Yep. I don't know how you keep doing it, Mickey. Mickey, my friend. I don't know how you keep doing it, but you're still there, and I think you've been doing a terrible job. And your team is in just a terrible on paper state that I have zero confidence in his ability to draft them out of that. And for that reason alone, as they would say on Shark Tank, I'm out.
God, you know who really saved his job this year?
Who?
Chris Ballard.
It's funny. My brain immediately went, Chris Ballard, it's your time. And I was like, oh shit, you're doing good.
So I have two people that I think are in clear position to get to use the Latin term, absolutely shit canned, and it's really a question of which one I'm going to go for here. And I think I'm going to go for Monday Night Football Zone Team Talent alone, the Arizona Cardinals GM Monte Austinfort.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to clean house, guys. Maybe, and by clean house, I don't just mean Jonathan Gannon, and I don't just mean Monte Austinfort. I mean maybe it's time to get rid of Kyler Murray.
Austinfort was a little tough at first because I feel like he has hit on some of his draft picks. Like he's actually has done a good job drafting. He's only been there since 23. But yeah,
I mean, either the skill position players that he has drafted with premium picks are not all that good, or Kyler Murray's bad and they just gave him a contract. So
I feel like he could save his job if he does what I tell him to do. And what I explained the other week on how to get out of the Kyler situation and be set up with a good QB for the future, he could save his job. Call me Monty.
I kind of like calling him Q-backs. I don't hate that. That's not bad. Mike. Mike, your next pick.
My next pick.
Where are we in round 3 now? We'll do 2 more rounds. We'll do this round and one more after it.
This is a tough one because some of the guys who I would go to, Ryan Poles, I think he might have saved his job.
Well, Piss Pants Ben Johnson might have saved his job.
True.
Or Luther Burden. Luther Burden's looked pretty good. Luther Burden, Colson Loveland. They did their interior offensive line that they brought in that I laughed and pointed and laughed and then laughed some more. Pretty good interior offensive line.
Yeah. So that's why I think personnel-wise they've actually done pretty well. I think it's just there's certain positions that it might just not be the guy, a.k.a. Caleb Williams. My pick is going to go to Andrew Berry.
Would you rather have, right now? Oh, yeah, that was the obvious pick. Right now, would you rather have Caleb Williams or Trevor Lawrence? Contract doesn't matter. We're not talking contract. Just purely the player.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, me too.
I can get weird with Caleb Williams. The way Ryan Grubbs got weird with him.
Yeah.
In the play calling. Clip that. There's your short. I can get weird with Caleb Williams. Just not Ryan Grubb. Like Ben Johnson. His crazy play calls. Yeah, but that's what I meant. The crazy kind of stuff that Ben Johnson can do, the trickery you can do with Caleb Williams. I don't think you can do it with Tila.
I like how you don't know what shorts are because you said clip that. I'm going to make an entire short that is just you saying I can get weird with Caleb Williams.
That would be a short. It'd be super short.
Yeah, it'd be like playing basketball in the 70s. All short shorts.
All short shorts. Back to my pick though. Andrew Berry, who's held the position with the Browns since 2020. I don't think I need to give you a reason.
Yeah, we just pointed out how Nick Caserio's on the hot seat despite being the guy on the other end of the disastrous Deshaun Watson trade. So maybe the guy that traded for Deshaun Watson should be on the even hotter seat. That's what I was talking about earlier where I said there's some guys I would definitely take ahead of Caserio, but had to take him for the bit. So now we're kind of in the stretch where it's either people that have been institutional and are going to continue to be there, or you're going to pick surprisingly recent people to get fired.
So can we just put it on, there's one name that should be said, but it will never happen, and that's Jerry Jones.
Yes, Jerry Jones should absolutely be fired. They mishandled the roster so incredibly. I will say, George Pickens trade, great. Outside of that, not a lot of good offseason moves for them. But the problem is that, Jerry Jones owns the team. So, but now we're in the stretch where you're going to have to start picking some people who were either hired pretty recently or given contracts pretty recently, or maybe saved their job, but maybe haven't. And I think that I'm going to go into that third category there. I'm going to go Joe Shin.
Just Shin.
Who it seems like had a great draft this year, had a great draft last year, but we're in the late stages of this draft. We're draft people that probably don't have a high chance of getting fired right now. And I'll say this for Zhou Shen, still has one of the most famous moments of content where a GM talks to a team owner about trading a player, and that owner tells them just don't trade him to Philly and have him be good. And then that's exactly what happened. So I'm going with Zhou Shen.
You thought it was opposite day?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that is a fine pick. I thought about him as well.
Can I sell you some Howie Roseman here?
Yeah, okay. Howie Roseman could like trade for like the worst player in the league who's like 45 years old, and people would be like, "Damn it, what does Roseman know? What does he see?"
Yeah, like if you found out tomorrow that Howie Roseman had signed Adam Vinatieri to play tight end, you'd be like, wait a minute, is Adam Vinatieri about to have 4 catches for 41 yards in the next game?
Yeah, like you said, there's some names that jump out, but it's like, oh, they just got there, so they probably aren't going to get axed just yet. Like Darren Mogi, is that how you pronounce it, for the Jets?
Mahogany? I've never actually heard it say. Yeah, it's Mahogany.
Okay, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole at this point in the podcast, but anyway. Can't take Jerry. I'm struggling on this last one. Okay, so I'm going to throw out some names here. You can tell me who I'm going to pick, because these are all ones where I'm like,
oh yeah, it's my job to tell you who to pick, is that?
Yeah. Well, I'm struggling to get this last one. Like, Terry Fontenot.
Fontenot?
Yeah.
Last
good free agent signing.
Probably. What'd you say?
Last good free agent signing he said.
Last good free agent signing that Terry Fontenot has had. I've got to be honest with you. It's not great that none come to mind. I mean, like Jesse Bates.
Was that a free agent signing? They didn't draft him?
No, he got drafted by Cincinnati.
That's right. Okay. Classic. Anyway.
I think that they had what's his face for that one season that we were watching them that they signed from as a free agent. Was Nate Landman drafted by them? Nate Landman plays on the Rams now, but
okay, well that is another point against Fontenot because he let Nate Landman go.
Yeah, and the guy whose name I can't remember, the pass rusher, the big guy who's on Arizona now,
like the really big guy.
Yeah, the really big guy.
Really big guy. You know? So he's like that one's shaky. The other shaky name that I was like, it might be time to talk about it was Eric DaCosta.
Really?
I know it sounds crazy. People, but start putting some pieces together. It's really not. I'm going to go ahead and for the sake of time, I'll say Terry Fontenot because I still hate the fact that they drafted Jalen Walker and then gave up a bunch to trade up and get another player of a similar position in the first round.
Yeah. And I'll close it out by taking Ryan Poles, who I think is definitely not in a position to get fired anytime soon. I think that he's done a pretty good job in the last 2 off seasons, but there is a precipice in which Caleb Williams gets Ryan Poles fired.
I also don't think that I didn't take him here, but I don't think Kyle Shanahan can save him forever, and I'm continuing to short the John Lynch stock heavy. Yeah,
I thought about taking John Lynch, but just every year they have the excuse built in where their entire roster gets injured. I don't know how they're doing it, but it's a great way for Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch to keep their jobs.
Lynch is popping out of lockers and his kneecap bitching. Things aren't going well.
Right in the knee. All right, Mike, I would recap the draft, but I didn't write anything down because I didn't really feel like it. And if you want to know who we drafted, go back and just listen to this segment again. That's all I got, Mike. Any other notes that you want to touch on the way out the door there?
No, just because we didn't get to the segment we were going to do, which I believe was like a contenders draft, right?
Yeah, contenders draft.
I just wanted to take a second and say that what you guys didn't get to hear was me go on and on about how the Rams are winning the NFC. And if you think it's not happening, you're wrong.
Oh, yeah, because I think that this would have gotten interesting because, like, I think that my version of that would have been the Broncos are winning the AFC. So
I think my new bet, I think I'm going to strictly bet, like, Broncos fourth quarter spreads the rest of the year and see how it goes.
God, they are the horseshoe up their ass luck team this year.
It's wild. It is wild.
So the World Series Game 7 happened, right? And the 2 images that are going to exist from that forever are Will Smith, the catcher, with just like the last of his spikes on the plate to get the out at home in extra innings with the bases loaded, and their center fielder who checked in as a defensive sub, bowling over their left fielder to catch a pop fly to once again stop the Blue Jays from having the walk-off run. For the rest of my life, I think if you ask me about the 2025-26 season, there is a chance that the lasting memory I will have is of Jackson Dart throwing maybe the worst pass of his career to a linebacker for an interception when the team had unquestionably no way to lose that game if he simply did not throw an interception.
Glass half empty for the Giants, right?
They kind of got the Commanders thing going on where like you could also just say like injuries, man.
Yeah, but like your two like most exciting players, like skill position players, suffered bad injuries that could affect what they are when they return.
I'm not worried about it as much with Malik Neighbors. Scatabo, I am.
Scatabo, I'm very worried. Neighbors an ACL, right? People get that every day.
Yeah, every day.
I'm saying I feel like all great players nowadays. It's like how many times did you tear your ACL?
It's like Tommy John's, where now like people in the minors are getting preemptive Tommy John surgery.
Right, but 10 years ago, you go Tommy John's is like his career could be over.
Yeah, now Malik Neighbors tears an ACL, and it's like, you want to come back next week, kid?
Yeah.
It's Jason Tatum. You know, they just did the surgery before the swelling set in, Mike. That's why he's going to come back so early.
He's only 19, so we'll bounce back well.
His kid's going to be older than him at some point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got, Mike. You want to hit your plugs on the way out the door?
Follow me at I don't know Mike on Twitter. Also referred to as X by some people, most people. Blueski, keep an eye out for anything written that I actually get done. And other than that, you know, humble but hungry, as Sean McDermott tells the team. Humble and hungry.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Follow me at Talent Alone Adam on Twitter, formerly known as X. Follow me at Cotan Film Pod on Blueski. That's where I post all of our work, is to both of those socials. And it's getting more relevant because we're going to have a Cotan within the next 60 days. Because we're doing the Oscars draft with the full slate of Talent Alone podcasters.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if you listen to this in the audio formats, wherever you get audio podcasts, you can follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube. You know, if that's your cup of tea, we've been posting on there a lot more, shorts, live streams, things like that. It's been a lot of fun. Come hang out for our live streams, we're doing our next one, Mike, on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is now Eastern Standard Time because daylight time is over. We'll be back on our grind, playing more NFL Blitz for a few hours, and our path to get the Grand Championship, which is where you beat all the other teams. I'll be playing as Washington Commanders, playing as 4 players who have never been on the field at the same time as each other this season.
And never will again.
Never will again. And you can tune back in. Keep an eye on this feed. We will have another podcast. So let's go up on Tuesday because I got to go to the golf range and then to the movies. Our next podcast we'll record on Wednesday, probably go up on Thursday because editing videos takes forever. And then we'll have a basket on Friday, Mike, where we will be talking Montreal Canadiens, and Montreal Canadiens.
Just one game left on their slate before you record it? Or it's 2. The Thursday game's good. We're doing Basket Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I think the Thursday night game's against New Jersey.
Should we
Watch
do a
live
live watch along during the live stream?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
So tune in on Thursday for the live stream. We'll be playing NFL Blitz as well as a live watch along of the Montreal Canadiens playing the New Jersey Devils in a game that I hope ends 21-0. With that, Mike, on the way out the door, do you have any Montreal-based shout-outs?
Shout-outs to poutine. I've actually never eaten it.
Mike, if I may say,
mm-hmm.
in the history of this show, I think that was your finest shout-out.